Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the God of the Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed. I'm here with my cousin, Rick the Ruler. And we after a nice victory against the Orlando Magic, even though they're a little depleted, but it was a nice watch. How about you, cuz? How you feeling about that?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a strange game, but I'm like you said, I'm glad we got the W.
Facts. Oh, hold on. We got Big Bro jumped in the building. There he is.
Y'all got hats on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
This guy never come to work prepared, man. What's up with this guy?
He's going dirty. Yeah.
Look, changing the wardrobe,
Hold on.
throwing hats. Right.
Yeah, because I'm from New York. New York.
Some things don't change. How you feeling?
I'm chilling, man. We got the W today. Bitcoin up there, 105,000. I'm richer than ever.
Oh, you feeling really good?
I'm trying to make another come up.
Okay. That's good to hear. Shout out to the chat. Toon, what's going on, cuzzo?
What up, baby?
What's going on? RBL, what's going on, my guy Raul? How you doing, my guy? Good to see you again. Man. So yes, we're here after a nice victory. I mean, it was a tough game. I mean, the refs were letting a lot of things fly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what's up with the refs, man?
I don't know. They were letting a lot of things fly. It was very aggressive. Jalen Brunson was getting his ass beat for most of the game, but
that's why he was screaming like that.
Yeah, he was fired up. I mean, I would be too after, and he respects those guys, but sometimes he's not even mad at the players. It's more like, yo, call it even on both ends. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
That's just the thing that stood out to me was, let's just call it even on both sides. Like however you feel. I know one of the guys was saying the free throw disparage and all of that. I mean, like, listen, bro, if you're being honest, like you could just watch the game. Like it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And Jalen Suggs is known as a defender, so that's just what he does. He likes to get, especially guards. He likes to get in the guards and try to make them, do a little bit extra, just to get a bucket. But that worked against him. That he ended up, getting fouled out. But what you see?
Yeah, that last foul was stupid, wasn't it?
It was stupid. I don't know.
What was he doing?
Like you have five.
Surprised.
Yeah, like you have five.
All over him.
You fouled him once. You fouled him twice.
You fouled him like 3 times already before they even called it.
Yeah, and it's like at this point you got away with 2 of them. Back off. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you're not invincible. But it is what it is. And that he's a young guy. That's not a veteran move. He would have took his time a little bit, but that didn't work in his favor. How'd you guys feel about that? With Jalen Suggs and the Brunson thing going back and forth.
I just thought it was stupid. The last foul was stupid. He was like, the best chance that they had was Suggs. He was the most aggressive. I felt like that was like either a cop-out or just frustration, but he wasn't thinking it through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not doing nothing at that point. You didn't get the foul past half court, so ease up a little bit.
Right.
You keep going, and then you act like you're surprised you got that foul.
Yeah, that was silly.
You should have had that foul. Like I think it's kind of silly.
How about you,
Alan Hahn was like, if that's his 6th foul, then that's his 8th foul because he hooked him, he grabbed his jersey, like it was too much, and then that was just on the last one. It was pretty much that whole 4th quarter. He was just super aggressive. And it was just like it's not working in your favor. So like, figure something else out.
I mean, and it sucks because that's the kind of player he is. He kind of has to do that. You know what I mean? But it's you got to be smart. You know what I mean? Like it was already an aggressive game, and I guess he got used to, and that's the ref's fault. I blame the refs for that because you let him be aggressive the entire game, and then he gets used to how you let him play, and then you're gonna call him for the 6th foul after he's playing how you let him play the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So it's what I mean, like that's why I'm saying you got to call it even. You have to maintain the game. That's what the refs are there for. Is like you have to maintain the flow of the game. If not, then these guys get used to a certain whistle that really shouldn't be there. But whatever. Like I said, I'm glad. I hate the fact that we had to kind of struggle with this team who's missing their 2 best players. know what I mean? They're literally their top two players are gone with the same injury, which is weird. I think
Crazy.
their training team needs to be reevaluated this summer, because it's how do you get two of your best players with the same exact injury? That's kind of odd. You know what I mean? Something's going on.
Think something fishy?
I mean, I don't think it on purpose. I just think these guys don't know what the hell they're doing. You know, sometimes it's
they
that
miss
simple.
something.
Yeah, like I missed this part of that train. I don't know. To me, it's just weird that both the best players have the same injury. But Paulo should be back by the next time they play us, I believe. So we'll see how that pans out for them.
Banchero?
Yeah, Banchero. Yeah, Banchero. That dude's good. Shout out to the chat. RBL says refs out here messing up people's parlays. Listen, my boy Niz, he sent me his parlay. He had
What was it?
I forgot, but the one part that stuck, I think the only one that he didn't get was Mikal Bridges was supposed to get 18.5 points, and he ended up with 18. And I was like, yo, let's see.
That's why they do that. It can't be on the button 18. They got to be more.
Yeah,
so they always think 18.5.
And imagine him just getting 18. Like, like I'd rather you get 17 and 16, like completely like blow it. Don't
completely busted. Don't give me 18.
Those legs be pissing me. I hate those legs, with the parlays, but Toon said it's the family back together. Come on, the family's always together, man. Come on, man. Family ain't going nowhere. We just wasn't, you know what I mean, doing the shows often because everybody had stuff going on. Everybody had stuff going on. He used to love seeing this. Was good, fam. What's going on, Toon? You know what I mean? You family love. Too, cuz. You know what I mean?
Who's be you from the Bulls?
You said what?
Oh, Vucevic?
Oh, he said you think the Knicks should try to get.
We about to get Mitch back. We ain't gotta get no big man.
Let's talk about that. So it's been a while. It's been a while, right? It's been a while since we've been on. So obviously, we can see that the issue, before we get into tonight's game, the issue that we have been having was, interior defense and rebounding and stuff like that. Do y'all think? What are y'all thoughts on Mitch coming back, or because a lot of people do want to trade Mitch because of his unreliability health-wise, but I'm just saying what other people are saying. But how do you guys feel on that front in terms of Mitch and what his value is, and should we keep him and all of that?
Mitch is homegrown. I would like to see that be that one thing that stays. I mean, I feel like, when you injury prone, I think sometimes there's sometimes he's done some dumb stuff to get injured. There's been some things where you have somebody like Embiid who did something on purpose to injure him.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of unfair in some cases, but yeah, he gets hurt a lot, but I also think that anyone could get injured at any moment.
True.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So getting Vucevic, I guess is he most likely. Like they were talking about today how Bridges got 500 games in a row.
500 games.
Season after he got traded, he actually played 83 games that season.
Yeah.
Because of the trade and the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And is that a stroke of luck, or is he just built that way? It's like, does he play a certain way where he doesn't get hurt? I don't know. Mitchell, sometimes he gets in there and he wants to get busy. I don't think Mitch would get like a ton of minutes when he's back. So I don't know if that means he's not going to get hurt. I mean, I don't know. We get Vucevic, he get injured the first day after we make a trade, and it's like, God damn, like, right. You know what I mean? It just seems like is that the type of luck that we get. What about you, Ricky?
I think we need Mitch, man. I like Cat. I think what he's doing is incredible, but like rim protection, what Mitch does is it's not the same as what Cat does, and it would be nice to have him back. Vooch, if I'm thinking right about the same guy, he's like a 3-and-D player, right? He shoots a lot of threes.
He shoots a lot of threes, yeah.
And he's there defensively. He's smart. I wouldn't mind having him on the team, but I feel like Mitch is all defense, and It'll be good having him back. Will he get injured again when he comes back? Probably, but you never know how many games we're going to get him for. It's better to have him postseason. So him coming in January, it's good for the second half of the season. We'll see if he can stay healthy. But I don't think we should trade him.
That's good. I mean, it's easy to see both sides of the fence, because sometimes I'm on the fence, but a lot of times I just want Mitch to be healthy, man. Like it's hard to, and that's hard to ask a lot of times, especially at his position. But also because of his history, it's kind of like, well, can we rely on you? You know what I mean? Health wise, you know what I mean? It's a long season. Like I'm glad it's taking him a while to come back, because fine. If we are gonna keep him, then you miss damn near half the season. You don't have a whole season of legs under you. You know what I'm saying? So you should be a little bit fresh for playoffs. I don't know, man. I really want Mitch to get it together. I like Mitch. I like his personality. You know what I'm saying? He's always been a dope guy. He's probably the best offensive rebounder in the league. The verdict's still out on that, but which is something that we could really use, second chance points and allowing Cat. And Cat's been doing. Shout out to Cat. You know what I mean? Cat's really been.
He's been sticking in there, not getting hurt. That boy, he been playing ball.
I mean, and just on the rebound,
20 rebounds a night, some shit like that. 22
rebounds. And he's probably the best rebounder in the game right now. I think top 2 or something like that in the NBA. So it's you kind of want him to continue that, but at the same time, you don't want to bang him up too much, in the post too early in the season. So yeah, like get somebody else in there who can grab boards for him. But I just want Mitch to stay healthy, man. That's just me. That's me. I if Mitch can stay healthy, I'm keeping Mitch. You know what I mean? But look at his contract, and a lot of guys talk about his contract and Press's contract, and balance out to a nice power forward, which we could use, but off the bench. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's a lot of stuff right now, and I don't want to shift too much. But with the December 15th deadline getting there today, where you can trade guys, which I think I saw in the article, the only guy we can trade is Campaign or something like that at this point, which I don't think we're gonna do.
It doesn't matter what trade we make right now. There's gonna, whoever we get is not gonna be getting minutes. Like,
right. I mean, unless he's a
play.
Unless he's a starter already. You know what I'm saying? And he's a big that is going to help us in that aspect. But yeah, I mean, I think that's the only thing that we're lacking is just, rebounding and defending in the paint. In Mitch helps us with that. So it's hard to say get rid of him. Guys in the chat also talking about Nick Richards. That's another name from Charlotte. He's good. Daniel Gafford from Dallas. RBL said that one, and Toon said Nick Richards from Charlotte. Cool names, good guys that could really help us in that aspect. Daniel Gafford, but I don't think
he likes it where he's at.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas will do that. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Joe, my guy, the 4th member of GUK. Shout out to you, my guy. We're gonna get you on here on a Sunday, man. I know you like to get your rest, but I don't want to hear that. I don't hear that. I don't care. I don't care about your sleep. But nah, shout out to you, bro. So shout out to you. He said, Toon said we all pulling up to a game. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
Love to.
That would be cool. Something we can talk about, second half of the season. But yeah, I'm down.
The way my checking account is set up.
Listen, it's holiday season, so you already know it gets crazy around this time. So
I want to take Lyric to one of these games, though, man, so she could see and feel it be in the environment,
Yeah, I want to take the kids to a Madison Square Garden game. They've been to a game out here in Charlotte, but that's a home game. It's a home game. No. That's a home game.
Right.
We had Let's Go Nick chants like in the arena, like throughout the whole arena. It's kind of bizarre to have a bunch of Knicks fans like outweighing all another team in their own arena. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, man, like it's they loved it. They loved the environment. Josiah loved it. He had a great time. He was cheering, "Let's go Knicks" with them and all that. So yeah, he had fun. Yeah,
that make me feel bad. I don't want to take my kids out, man. They be getting on my nerve. Take them to a game. I'm not gonna enjoy the game.
Well, let's get into tonight. Let's get into what we saw tonight, man. You can take the kids to one of these games coming up. Shout out to the chat. We got Joe said I'm going to bed.
Going to bed. Peace, Joe.
Listen, man. It's fine. It's fine, man. We'll get you on here. Xavier Sayer, what's going on, Xavier? How you feeling? Good to see you. Yeah, man. So let's get into tonight's stats. So let's talk about it. We have, of course, let's start with Cat, because we kind of already touched on it. Pause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cat was 7 of 15 from the field, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. He had 22 points, 22 rebounds, and 5 assists, 6 turnovers. But things happen. You know what I mean? And
you kept talking about how many turnovers we have.
Yeah, we had 17 as a team. It's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? These guys, they're going through something. You know what I mean? And sometimes they force passes that are completely unnecessary.
Toward the end, I was like, are they about to give this up? That pass from Hart? I was like, what are y'all doing?
I don't know. They're not known to be a bad, turnover team. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird that they're doing that now. I don't know. But anyway, outside of the 6 turnovers, he had a great game, 22 and 22. It's his first time as a Knick doing that. I think it's his 3rd time doing that in his career. Might be more, but I think from what I heard, it was his 3rd time doing that in his career. And it's good to have a guy doing that. Let's talk about Cat real quick, man. Is he
MVP? He in the running?
No. He can't be MVP yet because Giannis
definitely all-star caliber though.
He's without a doubt an all-star. There's no question. Him and Jalen Brunson are without a doubt all-stars. Whether they're starters, Cat should be a starter.
Mm-hmm.
If we're being honest, the only other big baller right now in the East is Giannis. So you can start both of those guys next to each other. Cat should be starting in the East. I'm sorry, but is as far as a Knick, right? And I've seen this question float around, right? And I don't know how people, long-term Knicks fans don't like hearing this kind of stuff, but let's stir the pot a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If Karl Anthony Towns wins a chip as a New York Knick, is he a greater big than Patrick Ewing?
Just off winning a chip?
In New York.
He'd be a greater Knick. Because, you got to look at it this way. As long as the Knicks haven't won, if we finally win with him, he going down in history.
He's going down in history.
Yeah.
He's going down.
Does that make him a better?
I don't know. I don't know if it makes him a better, but he can shoot more threes.
He can shoot the hell out of the rock.
Wait. What's the question? Is he a better center?
Would he end up with being a better, more legend? Is his legend as a Knick greater than Patrick's if he wins a chip here? Something that Patrick's never done.
I would say if he won 2.
If he won a couple, right? I was gonna say because one, it might be like, all right, they got one flash in the pot.
Right.
But we talk about then it start to be like a dynasty. Then but you still can't. Like if he did it twice, you'd be like, all right, this is for real. Like homeboy ain't playing. He got a championship here.
Right. Yeah. That's what basically what X says. He said, it depends on how he does it and for how long. You know
that's one thing, but he's a New Yorker too, so it's kind of like. Yeah. This dude is legendary, like already a New Yorker coming to New York at center, and he's winning, knocking down threes.
Didn't his dad play as
with the baby legs? Say what?
Wasn't his dad a Knick or something like that?
His dad he played something up here.
I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. He did something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I might have seen that somewhere. But I mean, he grew up a Knicks fan. His mom and his dad were big Knicks fans. Rest in peace to his mom. And he's really. I think hey, Xavier said he's from Jersey. Him and Brunson are both from Jersey.
Yeah, both of them. That's close enough though, bro. That ain't.
They grew up Knicks fans. They grew up Knicks fans though. We give them that.
They could have been Nets fans, but nah, they grew up Knicks fans, man.
Word.
Not so this is my thing with that argument. Cat being a greater Knick than Patrick. Like you said, it would have to be an extended period of time for him after his tenure as a Knick was over. Even if he won one, but had a good lengthy career as a Knick, I think he can put himself in that argument. But you have to have a lengthy career in order to do that. Because Pat did it for a long time as a Knick. You know what I'm saying? And that's
right. He was out there for years.
He was out there for 85. And when did he finally get traded? 90 what? It was like 99?
I think he was older.
My man was a Knick for like 15 years, man. Like,
yeah,
that's the long, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's if you looking at the I think Jalen Brunson had, I think he just eclipsed his, I think however many, I'm sure I had the number. The thing might have been his 40th 30-point game or something like that, or 60th as a Knick or something like that. And Carmelo 61st. I
think it was.
And Carmelo's at 103 and Pat's at like 200.
200, like yeah, it's nuts.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to be doing this for a long time and win a championship for you to be a greater Knick than Patrick in that regard. But that's just that was just my piece on that. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy for someone to even bring that up. Like, is he great and big? I'm like, he has a, you got an argument at a certain point, but anyway, let's get back to it.
Like, what do you get back?
What happened?
Okay. What do you get? What do you get by saying that?
I don't know.
I mean, like, whatever. People just like, all right.
Right, and this is like RBL said, you been playing 15 years with the Knicks.
Yeah,
15 years, bro. Like, it's gonna take a long time. You know what I mean? And like he also said, first chip is a great one, but a second chip to turn the legacy.
That's what I'm thinking.
So if he does multiple chips, even in say he's here for 6-7 years, and it's not 15, but you win 2 chips in New York in those 7 years, you know what I'm saying? You got to put him in the conversation, but like I said, you gotta.
It would be hard to do that though. Realistically, to be like this, he's up there with Patrick. Even if he did win 2, it'd be like, he didn't struggle. It would be like,
he ain't really go through the struggle.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, but then you can't take that from him. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
you can't take it. You can't. It's hard.
What were you gonna say, cuz?
I just feel like, all right, so I agree with what Xavier said, like how he does it. Like, if he's putting the team on his back, like he's the number one guy, and he's making sure that the Knicks solidify a title, then as far as centers in New York history go, he's got to be right there in the conversation with Patrick Ewing.
But if they benched him in the fourth quarter and they still won, it's like, nah,
it's just like, I mean, you helped get him there, but like you didn't
right.
do.
I mean, you go,
it,
right, and the thing is, you can ask that same question about Brunson. Like, if Brunson wins 2 to 3 championships as a Knick, is he a greater Knick than Clyde as a point guard? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Clyde did it for a long time too, and he won 2 championships. So it's, you know what I mean? Like, you can't. That's a tougher. That's a way higher bar. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Jalen. No disrespect. I'm not saying I don't think he can win 2 championships. I'm saying I don't know if you can win 2 championships and still eclipse what Clyde was, and it as a Knick. You know what I'm saying? I think that's that's a little bit tough. Xavier says, I think he would have to win 2 chips, 1 chip and 1 Finals MVP, or 1 chip and 2 Defensive Player of the Year, MVP scoring titles. Must be consistent 2020 guy, etc. Oof.
You gotta fire your spell check, man. They do not want you to say check. Fired.
He said Caesar must.
We have to win 2 champs.
He says Caesar is
1 champ and finals match. Or 1 chip, 2. Who's Xavier?
That's Xavier.
Oh, that's my cousin.
His cousin. He came up before.
That's your cousin?
My wife's cousin. Yeah. My wife's cousin. Yeah.
Why he spelled chimps like multiple times?
Nah, that's what I'm saying. It's a spell check. He put chip, but they kept changing the chimp. That's
say, Xavier, you gotta be real good at winning. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo, you crazy.
Yo, bring your chips out, boy. We got this one.
You get a chip.
He crawling on top of players when they hold up the thing. Oh man, you got real good.
That's hilarious. That's good. That's a good laugh right there. you
see, you gotta be real professional. You were. You see how professional you were. You knew what he meant, and you read it like how it was supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, but he spelled the shit like 3 times. Or 1 chip. Yeah, how many chips we talking about?
Oh, I'm crying, man. Oh my god.
Hey yo. You man say you gotta be real good to win a chip. Hey yo.
Yo, that's good. That's good.
But stuff, you gotta rack up a lot of stats in order to be like, all right, you're better than the previous Nick legend.
Right.
But no matter if we win the title, whoever's on the team, they're gonna be lifted up because we haven't won a title in forever. So it's like they're gonna go down in history regardless.
Yeah, like nobody remembers anybody in the history of the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody knows like a lot of those historic guys who played and broke records as a Warrior. Like the only guys you know of is Steph, Clay, Draymond.
Baron Davis is the only Warrior guy.
Baron Davis is the only other guy you think of, and like that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's crazy. Tim Hardaway was over there. He was over there for a little bit. Wasn't that where he was drafted?
I have no idea. All I know him from is Miami.
Wow. Yeah, he was there, but I think he was drafted to Golden State. That's the thing. Nobody even knows about Golden State's history. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like I feel like it's kind of you can't forget Steph. Pat. Yeah, you can't forget Pat, but there are certain guys that that the average NBA fan will never know about. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If the Knicks won, you know what I mean?
And if Clyde wasn't like a personality there, a lot of people wouldn't know about him either.
Nobody would even know.
Name is up in the rafters.
Exactly. You wouldn't even know at all. People, it's crazy how many people don't even know anything about Clyde, but they know him as like a radio or just a voice. Mm-hmm. For the Knicks. It's crazy. But anyway, back to these guys. Let's talk about Jalen Brunson. So Jalen Brunson, he was what do you got going on here? He had 31 points tonight. He was on fire. 31 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 11 of 14 from the free throw line, 4 of 8 from the 3-point line, 8 of 18 from the field. Just being the leader in terms of shaking off a lot of that back and forth that he was going, having with Jalen Suggs. And it was good to see him just shake it off and just still do his thing, because that's been an issue. These guys were missing their two best players, of course, but the problem we've been having is when teams punch, we haven't been punching back. And I think that's what I've been seeing really is, we have been having an issue with that. Like, why is it that we get down, like, the last game versus Atlanta, like, you got to punch, you got to hit back. Like, we just kept clawing at them for the rest of the game. You know what I'm saying? And we never really just got back in the zone and did what we were supposed to do. So it was good to, even though these guys were depleted, they were out there swinging, the refs were letting them swing, you know what I mean? But we didn't back down to it, and that's something that I want us to continue to do. And I feel like that'll be vital for us to, for our winning. But it was good to see Jalen Brunson take over and put the book bag on and just lead in that way, because, if he didn't do it, no one else, outside of Cat, of course, really has the capability of just making that happen. You know what I'm saying? But tell me how you feel about the what you saw from Jalen Brunson, Dre.
I think Jalen Brunson is Jalen Brunson. I think he's solid. There's really no surprises there. He's not doing anything. If his stats aren't what they were last year or they better, it's really, you can't really say much about Jalen Brunson. Is solid. He's that guy. He's the floor general. I like the games when he's got like a bunch of assists. Yeah. Because I think that makes him that much more dangerous. Or it just means the guys around him can score more consistently. They can be consistent. Right. But I don't think there's no surprises when it comes to Jalen Brunson. I think he's doing what he been doing, and I think he's dynamite for it.
Facts. Cuzzo, how you feel about what you saw from Jalen today?
Man, he got aggressive, and I think he needed to. It was a little strange how they were playing defense. It felt like they were lax on everybody else, but when Jalen had the ball, it was like they were super aggressive. So I don't know if that was their game plan from the beginning, but it just, I don't know, it didn't materialize. It just seemed a little weird. But what he did was, he did what any professional would do. He took what was given to him, and he made a game out of it. He like the whole back and forth with Suggs, and then he backed him down and then put it on him. And I was just like, that's what you need to see. Like, he's like, I'm not scared. Like, you send three guys, I'm gonna make the best play. So yeah, that's what you need in a leader.
Exactly. And that's the problem that we were having in those other games is, it's not that he would back down, but it's kind of like he doesn't really. Jalen gets in his head a lot of times, and he really just needs to calm down and just play his game. I think when he tries to do too much, like passing, like sometimes, like, naturally he's a scoring guard. Yeah. But I love when he gets double-digit assists, but I also don't like to see him forcing assists. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of those times you see him forcing it, and it's kind of like, yo, you're still the best player on the team. Like, you still can shoot whenever you want to shoot. Like, you're the captain guy. So, like, sometimes you want to see him to continue to be aggressive in that aspect. And tonight was it was a prime example of that because, we're still having a lot of, I'm looking for a lot of contribution from our bench. I would like to see more of, like, guys who, like Tyler Kolek, but you understand, I understand why coach doesn't really play them as much. But Cameron Payne couldn't really give us much tonight. He only took one shot. But when Jalen Brunson's really the only guard who can get in the paint and get whatever he wants, he has to do it, and that's why he takes 18 shots in a game like tonight. RPO says Jalen Suggs needs to cut off whatever he got going on the top of his head. Joint look like that metal sponge to clean.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that bad, but yeah, tonight it looked crazy.
Yeah, I guess
and it looked even. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, when you see the game, because I don't really see Magic play often like that, but when you watch the game, you're like, oh, he got the
you're like, oh. Like, you can't just look into it. Like, you got to look into it. Like, what's it's crazy. What's going on over there? It's crazy because it's like, and then he got the nerve to wear like a headband And they
I'm like, yo, wear a whole hat, man. Get him, yo, somebody bring him a Scully.
Like, what you bring him a Scully? Imagine wearing a Scully in an NBA game, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's dude.
Get that dude a do-rag, yo. Get him the cap.
But yeah, man, he's a different one. He's another. He reminds me of a lot of the memes that we were seeing when we were playing Trae Young, which is another, like, we could get into that in a little while, because that last game really got under my skin. But anyway, we'll continue before we get to that. So Mikal Bridges. I want to talk about Mikal because there's been a lot of ups and downs with Mikal. A lot of people were not happy with what they were seeing from Mikal early in the season. But 500 games was his first time, like you said earlier, Dre. His first time, not his first time. Obviously, it was his first time, but reaching 500 straight consistent games is something that I don't think. When was the last time somebody did that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of, I forgot they put the list up, and he's in there with some really, like, guys who haven't played the game in years. Like, it's kind of crazy, and it just shows how many people don't play often and consistent anymore. But shout out to Mikal, man, because
they put his numbers next to who?
I forgot the names that were on the list.
What, like, what kind of players? Like people who haven't been injured?
No, the guys are the most consistent. Actually, I did. Oh, here we go. The most consecutive games to start your career. He is 6th all time now, and with 500. 5th is Bobby Wanzer. I don't know who that is. He played.
I was gonna say, with a name like that, you probably would be consistent. You ain't out there on the floor.
Right. I mean, he played from 1948 to 1956.
Oh, Jesus. No, I wouldn't know that.
You know what I'm saying? Terry Tyler, 574 games,
Tyler who?
Terry Tyler. From 78 to 85. Jack Twyman with six TWYMA. Jay is different, man. Jack Twyman, 609 games. He played from 55 to 63.
Okay.
I think my mom was born in that around that time.
Sheesh.
Harry Gallatin. I think, was Harry Gallatin a Knick? I don't know. I might be wrong. It's a shame if he was, and I didn't know that.
I think it's a good thing.
680
for that long.
For that long, yeah. 680.
And he plays minutes.
Right. Are you getting calls?
Yeah, like, I'm using my phone. Like, come on.
Jesus Lord, Jesus. Number 2, Harry Gallatin, 682 games from 48 to 58, and number 1 is Red Kerr from 844 games, which is outrageous. From 54 to 65.
Does it say what their playing time is? Across that time period? That's what I need to see. Because he could be number 1 because of his play time.
Just in terms of play time, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I guess I'll delve into the numbers later and see, when how many minutes these guys actually played. Because, you can play a bunch of games, but I mean, you also have to be good enough to play consecutive games. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really be a bum, because you have to be good enough to play consecutive games. So I guess there's something to it there. There's got to be something to it there. The names you're mentioning are the characters from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen movie. Exactly. Like, who nobody even knows who these guys are. But anyway, so Mikal Bridges, 17 points tonight. 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 steal, 1 assist, 1 rebound. 2 free throws. He was 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 1 for 3 from the field, from the 3-point line, and 7 for 11 from the field. At 40 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Is because Tibbs going to play a lot of minutes. But at the end of the day, these guys needed to play these minutes. But we'd like to see some minutes from these other guys. But what you guys have seen from Macau? Cause talk to me about what's the things that you think that he brings to the team that we didn't have last year that we've seen him improve on since the start of the season.
I think I really thought I would see more of a defensive presence from him, but he seems to be mostly offense, and I don't mind it. I just figured, because of his wingspan that, and I'm sure he probably deters a lot of things, but and it's not affected by his stats, but I think he mostly brings a lot of offense, and I think he brings a decent option on our offensive side because he could shoot. And he not only that is he can take us to the hole as well, which I don't think he does enough. But tonight, like I don't know. Sometimes it almost feels like he's not even on the court. I have a couple of Knicks fans who they didn't like the fact that he came to New York, but I'm just like, nah. I think he's a good piece for the team. I think I don't know. I just feel like he kind of does his own thing when he's on the court. He likes that corner three. What are his stats looking like tonight?
Yeah, I put him back on the screen.
There we go. Yeah, 7 for 11, not bad. 17 points. It's 17 points. Like I don't even remember him like really shooting. You know what I mean? So I think he quietly adds to the offense, and I feel like he's some extra hands. I think he fits well with the teams, which is not surprising because he was a former teammate of Jalen and Josh. So I don't know. I like him. I think when he gets hot, like his shot is just automatic. There's other games where he struggles and it seems to be a bit much, but I think he's a good piece. I like him on his team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like I like Macau. I think a lot of people were expecting a lot from Macau because of what we gave up. I mean, I think that's really where what it boils down to. Is what we gave up for him. And a lot of people, like you said, people were probably not so much mad that we got Macau, but for what we gave up for Macau. And what was it, 6 first-round picks or something like that? So I mean, it's or 6 picks, I think 5 first or something like that. However it went, regardless, I think it's just people are not happy with what we had to give up to get that piece. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of what it boils down to. And I'm like, sometimes you got to make moves.
Nothing. You don't know who those picks would actually fall on. And I never really get too crazy upset when we trade for an active player who we know what we're getting for picks where, you never know what it could amount to. I never really get upset about that. So that's not a good argument.
For example, like we just talked about 500 games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 500 straight. AC Green holds 1192 consecutive games. He holds the all-time record. So that list must have been the Knicks, the franchise record. That must have been the list that I was talking about earlier. That must have been just the franchise record.
That's New York.
So
interesting.
So man, so he's got a long.
How you do that? Because he didn't have that record started on New York, so it just carries over.
Yeah, it carries over. That's why we were saying that he had one of the I think when he got traded last year or 2 years ago, he ended up playing 83 games that year because he got traded and it was before the team had played that many games. So like it's based off of that. So I mean it's I don't know. But RBO says Bridges shoots the ball like he's shoveling snow. Man,
I mean, it's how Cam look when he shoot.
Cam shot is wild. Cam shot, it looks crazy, and it's almost like he's running to the side, and then he just looks and it just shoots.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Xavier said, yeah, everyone was talking about his elite defense, and I don't see that. Maybe when Mitch comes back, we'll see it because I feel like he guards the three, but they drive on him a lot and go to the rim. Yeah, I mean, I think he's in a tough spot because of what they're asking him to do and who they're asking him to guard. I feel like it's easier for him to guard threes and fours sometimes, but I feel like he has a tougher time guarding like guards. Even though he's long, I feel like he has a tougher time guarding the guards because I don't know, like even no, I mean it's sometimes he does have the footwork. It's I don't know. Sometimes I feel like he there's a plan in his head that just doesn't go right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying something, and I feel like sometimes it's all right. I'm gonna funnel you down to the big, and then the big is not there, and that's not necessarily his fault, but he didn't look ahead of the time to funnel you down to the big. You know, so sometimes it's like defensive things like that I see. It's like, what were you doing there, Macau? You know what I'm saying? And then he ends up. I don't know. I mean, I like him though. I think it's gonna take him a while to get up to speed. There's a lot that he does well for this team, especially when he's shooting like his mid ranges. He's the only one outside of Brunson that takes mid range shots, which I like to see. And he's like lights out from it when he can actually get his shot up. But hopefully he can continue to just be effective. I don't really care that he misses shots. I don't like when he doesn't take them. You know what I'm saying? That kind of bothers me. Like I don't like when you don't take the shot. And that's kind of the problem I was having with Josh Hart last year. But Dre, talk to me about how you feel about Cam. I'm sorry. Macau tonight.
Yeah, they were talking about the shot. Now he got a shot fixed. It's still broken and all of these different things. I just think there's an adjustment. I always, I've mentioned this a bunch of times. I think that when guys get a chance to think about, so I think the next break, they have the All-Star break. I don't see him being an All-Star this year. So I think the All-Star break is going to be that time when these guys get to think and start to look at what they did so far this year and come back and say, all right, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And I feel strongly about that kind of thing. Sometimes with the season just takes like a real break where you get like a week or so where you could look at your game and see what's going on. And it's the first year together. There's like some pieces, and I know Josh Hart has said that a couple of times. He talked about how, they got to get themselves together. And it's one of those things where I feel like all of the players, I feel like JB, I feel like Cat, even though I think his defense sucks, which is why I look forward to Mitch coming back, because if you have the two big guys, that means we'll have rebounds on lock. Yeah. I know what's his name didn't play today a minute. What's the kid that I think is useless, even though he had some good numbers? Sims. Yeah, because they were saying that his rebound game a couple times was dope. But I think Mitchell Robinson in the middle, I just think that's a playoff type of caliber defender you need in there. And I just think but they still have to adjust once he comes back, because who we bumping? Is he starting? Is he coming off the bench? I just think there's some things where we have to deal with that friction when it comes to who's playing, how it moves, and how everybody works together. I think Josh Hart comes out of the starting lineup if they move him into the starting lineup, if that's what's better for the team. If he comes off the bench, things stay the same. But
I think respectfully, he has to play his way back, because this is a new team, really. You know what I mean? You gotta play your way back into
get in where you fit in.
Yeah, get in where you fit in, because that starting role might not be there, but they might need to use you.
Yeah, those minutes, know what the matchup is.
Yeah, those minutes are there, right? Whether they're starting or not. Those minutes are definitely there. We're still gonna need you.
Yeah, because Precious ain't really looking to. He just got back. He got to get back into the swing of things. He's
not looking terrible. He has to figure out his role, and
he got to get his role. He got to get his minutes. He's got to get into the groove. Yeah. So there's just like these dudes when they lost, like you said, the last game. I didn't see it, but it sounded like it was a frustrating experience.
Very frustrating.
A frustrating game. So, there's just like these things where they got to figure out what they're doing at the end of the game. Today, for a second, it looked like they was about to give that up. I think these teams going in there, and I think that they know that Cat is not a great defender.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't like how he gets attacked. I like, and
well, you mean from other teams or from fans? Like, what you mean?
From other teams. It's like people know that they can go at him, and he's like he does that thing a lot, and he's like, and it's like, yo, dude, like just take a couple steps back, like, you know what I mean, stop the chest bump thing. Like he does the chest bump, and that picks up a foul automatically. That's you have to learn how to stay vertical and not create contact. Like you have to absorb contact.
Do that again. The imitation you did of Cat Williams, of Cat.
He does all the time. He's like,
yeah.
He does it all the time. He's like, oh, it's like, yo, dude, like, come on.
He does that thing like when he pops shit too. He always looks at the floor.
Yo, I swear, I've been saying that since like 2017.
Yo, but nah, I was saying so because they were talking about the zestiness, and one thing I noticed, I kind of want to get at him for that because it's not right, but he always looks at the floor.
No, I always said that. Like,
he
always yell, like he'll dunk and then he'll yell. He's like,
yeah, he'll look down. Yeah, he's like looking down like this. It's like, yo, what you?
He always does that. It's almost
because if you look at anybody, you'll get attacked for that. So he look down.
Would you?
Yeah,
that's like there after you duck, but you walk away and you scream. But he's like always looking down.
Even when he turns away, he'll turn around. He'll be like, "Let's go."
Yeah, he's like looking over here at this corner. It's like his eyes follow the mouse to the corner of the screen.
I mean, yeah.
Yo, imagine your mouth just control where your eyes went.
And your eyes just like
he just like.
Man, imagine being like this, you whole ass nigga, and then you start looking down like this. It's like,
yo, and that's exactly what he did. And
yeah,
it was funny because the dude was calling him
twisted his lips like this, whole ass nigga. Then he started looking down
he's
like this.
Whole ass nigga. He's like, yeah, whole ass nigga. Yeah. Like, dude, like, chill out. But it was good to see that energy. I'm not gonna lie. I like to see that energy from Cat.
I love it. And he proud. When he go like that with the Knicks jersey, I love when dudes
like, New York. Like, I like that. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, that's first of all, he knows how to get a good clip bite. Like that one's going down in the history books. You know what I'm saying?
He got a bunch of YouTube shorts off of that.
It's over. Like he is locked in Knicks history and I'm all over YouTube for a long time. Just for that, just for this, all of the, you know what I mean, and the yelling, like, yeah, he's been a different. Especially when he did the little, he backed the last time we played the Magic, he backed him down and he didn't call a foul. He was like, looked at the ref and he turned around and hit the fadeaway, like stuff like that. Like these things are in history forever. You know what I mean? Like, and I love it. I love this side of Cat because you can't hate on it. It's hard to look at it and be like, oh yeah, whatever. Like he's balling. Like he's balling, even if his attitude, he's acting extra. However, whatever you're saying, like he's backing it up. 22 points, 22 rebounds tonight. So it's good to see, you know what I mean, and all that. But as long as he can continue to play.
You think that was a flagrant foul he had in that first half on Wagner?
In 2024. Yeah, 2024, yeah. It's because that's not a flagrant foul. In 2024, it's a flagrant foul. Because and that's what bothered me. You knew they had that energy prior to the game, because from last game they already had that energy for each other. They kind of came into it today. You kind of saw them going back and forth. So, but you have to keep control of the game. So I get calling it, but like you said, you got to keep that same energy on both sides. You know what I mean? And it was just, is it a flagrant? I don't know. He did turn around with the elbow. So I mean, I guess it's the refs can call that. a hostile act. So yeah, it can be upgraded to a flagrant one. So yeah, and technically by the rule book you can, but that wasn't a flagrant foul. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, that's cool. You know, that's just me. RBL says he said that's Cat's second 2020 in his career. That's his second one. Okay. It's his first as a Knick. Xavier says, listen, if we get wins in 2020 games, he can be zesty. Let him.
He can
I
be
ain't got no
just
problem.
all he want as long as he want. I really don't care about that. It's just funny, like seeing, some of the stuff. Like I don't even care about none of that. But like he can do whatever he want when when you winning like this. As far as him being like legendary, that's gonna be a while.
Right.
What did they say? Who?
Do whatever, because he was doing what he was in the league to do.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of joy seeing Minnesota going through it with Julius, because I feel like Julius was doing what he's doing because I Anthony Edwards called the team out for being soft. Feel like he's talking about Julius, because Julius would be like, sometimes he feel like playing defense, sometimes he didn't, and I feel like that's happened because at least with Karl Anthony Towns, he's trying. Whether he's good at it or not is a whole other.
Yeah, you don't just see him letting guys run to the basket.
Right.
Like you don't see that.
He's not giving up on plays. There was a couple plays where you see he was too late to get out there to run to the 3-point line, and he just is like, all right, he gonna shoot that, or he gonna make it or not.
Right.
But I think they all do that, where it's like, all right, I'm all the way over here, he way out of position. What's that dude that kept knocking down them threes? The big white dude on the
Mo Wagner.
Yeah. So Wagner was getting like a bunch of he would get like knocked down those threes. He could knock those down. So he was late on a few of them, but it wasn't like he necessarily gave up. So,
and he was on fire today. He typically doesn't play that many minutes, but with his brother being out with an injury and Paolo, he was the go-to guy outside of Suggs tonight. Real quick before we get out of here, excuse me. I want to talk about Josh Hart real quick and OG Anunoby, because they have been. I mean, OG is kind of up and down with his scoring. You know what I'm saying? But I still appreciate what he brings to his team. Like he's like he does everything that we need him to do.
Defensively, he would be a monster, and I think those are his lower offensive games when he's playing like crazy defense.
Facts. My bad. I thought you were still talking, so I took a drink. but yeah, tonight
drink break. It was like, oh, he finished. Yeah.
My bad. So 3 for 8. OG Anunoby from the field, 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. He didn't take any free throws, so he wasn't. Which is weird because he gets to the basket a lot, and I don't think he takes enough free throws. Just me personally. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, 7 points, but a plus 14 on the plus minus, the highest on the team. Just being everywhere you need him to be, and you know what I mean, like it's just I like watching him on defense because it's like he thinks a step ahead. Like it's kind of crazy just watching him on defense. It's weird because we got into the season, and it's no disrespect to Mikal, but now when you see Mikal and OG on the same team, like it's like, whoa, like these guys are light years apart. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not even the same caliber of defender. It's weird. Mikal is a great defender, but he's nowhere near as great as OG is. Just his instincts, and but he's also a bigger guy as well, so he can guard bigger players. But just how he gets into the passing lanes is just very, very savvy, and he's the record speaks for itself. I mean, since he's been on his team, we just went. He just went. But go ahead, cuz, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, he definitely reads the offense well. Like, because there's plenty of times where he just puts himself exactly where he needs to be to break up a pass, to mess up an offensive play. Like it is enjoyable to watch. And to your point where he didn't take any foul shots today, is he got fouled right at the half and they did not call it. And it was strange because he took a 3-point shot and they knocked him clear down.
Yeah,
and then he got up, he looked, and he's just like, whatever. And he walked to the locker room. And it was very odd.
Yeah, I remember looking at that too. And it was kind of like, what do we got to do to get the calls, y'all? Like, what's going on? Like, this is ridiculous. You know, and until we start yelling at the refs is the only time they start making a difference. And that's corny. You shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? You got guys picking up text just so you can call the game even. You know, you just can't let guys be completely aggressive like that. But yeah, Drake, talk to me about how you've been feeling about OG as a Knick so far, and then how you played tonight.
I feel like what I've seen from OG, like this motherfucker been more of a offensive player. This motherfucker, like he actually like dribbling and getting people off the dribble. I'm looking at him like, yo, they knew he was gonna be playing like this because you know he like a 3-and-D. He taking dudes off the dribble with that extra step, getting off the pivot foot with the extra hop. I'm like, where this came from? Like I never saw
this dude,
all of that from him. And like I watch, you know, like a lot of times, you know, I can't. I'm watching the score from work.
Yeah.
And it's like it says leading scorer OG Anunoby, and I'm like, this dude is like the leading scorer.
He been wilding on this shit.
Yeah, I'm like, hey yo. So a lot of times I'm like, I'm glad, you know, he was worth the money, even though maybe not, but maybe so. I guess I don't know.
Oh no, he's worth the money.
Part of him moving here though, like he said he wanted to take a more offensive role by coming here. So
yeah. He did say that. He did say
he
that.
Said that?
No, he said that he wanted to he wanted more of an offensive role. That's why he wanted to, you know, make a move. Or he was saying that since Toronto that he wants more of an offensive responsibility. So now he's got it. You know what I'm saying? And I was a little bit worried last year, you know, once we made the trade, you know, over the summer, and I'm like, well, so y'all paying OG that how much? And that's like just for defense? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I love the defense, but like what is he gonna do on offense? And he's proving me wrong. Yeah. He's proving me wrong. Yeah. Now every game it's hard, like you know, to your point, Rick, it's hard for him to play top level on offense when he's playing such a great, you know, putting a lot of energy on defense. And he works hard. That dude works hard, bro. He works hard. He's hustling from here to here. He's running. Like sometimes you see him, he's just like like it's like, yeah, he's covering for a lot of dudes' miscues a lot of times, but he's just that instinctual so that he can pick it up at whatever point. So you know, it's good to see him take a lot of that responsibility offensively and just keep going. Like you said, he can't have a lot of games, all the games where he's 20 plus, but the games where he's 20 plus and he's giving you the defensive prowess, it's like, yo, this guy is one of the best guys in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. In the you know what I mean? Just that night in particular. You know what I'm saying? Because when he's playing that well on both ends of the floor, there's not many guys who can do that. I mean, it might be Kawhi is one of the other guys who play that well. That, you know what I mean, a top level at like number 1 or 2 defensive guy and still giving you 20 plus points, getting to the basket, dunking on you and stuff like, you know what I mean? That's, you can see why guys like Kawhi are hurt all the damn time, you know, because you look at OG and he does everything and sometimes his body can't really keep up with it. But you know, you're starting to see him fall. It was scary, but now I'm cool with it because you know I think that's what they told him, like, yo, just fall, like don't try to
don't try to land and do all that, just good to go down.
Yeah, just fall, just let it, you know what I mean? It's all good. And he fall real slow, like he got no problem taking his time getting to the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like he like, however, he'll get bumped and he'd be like, all right, I'm cool. As long as he get up, I'm like, all right, cool, he good. Like, you know what I mean? It was making me uncomfortable at first, but you know, at least he's embracing a lot of that, and he's been fairly healthy this year. You know what I mean? Cross my fingers, you know, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx him, but it's December and we haven't really seen an extended time period. And you know, it's at some point we expect it because we just know his body can't keep up with that. Like,
it's a lot.
We're asking you to do a lot on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we need you at some point to take a break, and we appreciate you trying that hard to play that hard on both sides of the floor for night in and night out. But he's gonna need a break at some point. I don't know if he can wait until All-Star break for that. You know what I'm saying? So, we don't play again until Thursday. So we didn't play. The last time we played was Wednesday. We played today, and then we don't play again until Thursday. So it's basically in 7 games we play like two. In 7 days we play like 2 games. So these are the kind of breaks that guys like him love, because it's like I can rest. You can get some practice in, and that's what the team needs too. They need more chemistry. When they're traveling and playing a lot of these games, they don't get a chance to practice and all that. So with a lot of these days in between games, it gives them the opportunity to practice, which is a welcome sight. So the only other person I do want to, we can shout out to everybody. Miles McBride, of course. Shout out to Deuce. Deuce has also been.
Deuce is the man, with that high arching jumper he got out there.
I love Deuce, man. Like I don't ever want to see us get rid of Deuce. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely like just that. He wears his hard hat every night. He gets off the bench and he's like, "Yo, whatever you need from me, coach. Like, I got you. Offense, defense, whatever." And that's what he does. Tonight he ended up with 7 points, 2 rebounds, one assist. But just 2 for 2 from 3. Just doing what he's got to do. Doing what he's got to do, man. Shout out to Deuce. But also Josh Hart, just the Iron Man. He does everything that we need him to do. Just look at his stats: 12 points, 4 steals, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. You know what I mean? Like he's 5 for 9 from the field, 33% from the 3, which a lot of guys are 1 for 3 tonight. OG, Josh, Carl, Macau. We didn't hit a lot of threes tonight. We're 10 to 24. We didn't even take a lot. 24 threes. We didn't take a lot. If you remember opening night, the Celtics hit 28 or 29 on us. That's how much they made. And we only took 24. We only took 24 tonight and made 10 of those. So, the Orlando Magic I think they're the worst. They kept saying it tonight. They're the worst the 3-point shooting team in the league, and you saw it. It was pretty bad. But Josh Hart just being everything that he could be for this team. And I think he's also leading the league in points in the paint. Point percentage, at percentage of shots at the paint, in the paint, at the rim. Yeah, he's leading the league. Nobody finishes in the paint better than Josh Hart, which is kind of crazy to hear.
Yeah, they mentioned that tonight. They actually mentioned that.
Yeah, so it's good to see him. That's always been one of my favorite Knicks, because he's just a workhorse, man. He does everything you need him to do. But cuz tell me what you saw from Josh, man. What you like from what you just talk about Josh. Tell me how you feel about Josh.
Yeah, he's another one that it doesn't matter if you guys are up or down. Like his defense and what he does on the floor is just unmatched, and it never really feels like it wavers. My favorite thing tonight, just to be short, is when he went for that layup and the dude tried to block him, and he was just like, "This guy." Little.
He's a clown. He's a clown.
Yeah, and then he laughed it up. I was just like, yeah, that's what I miss. Like people having a good time out there.
When I was sitting here watching that, Lyric was looking at me like, "Why you laugh?" Because I was like laughing because after the dude fouled, like you said, he's like what was he doing? Then he missed the free throw. This was like, come on, man. Stop playing.
He's like, you're right. He's the stands. He's like, where you going?
Yeah, right. But Dre, go ahead, Dre. Actually, go ahead. Talk to me about Josh.
Josh got the heart for the park. And what I noticed more, it seemed like he knocking down more threes than he ever has in his career. It looks like. I don't know for sure, but it looked like his numbers are good.
He's definitely taking more.
Yeah, he's definitely taking more. I think the Knicks would be so dangerous if he was dangerous as a shooter. If he made defenses like respect his shot. Because in the playoffs, he was knocking down big shots. But it was almost like uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like he's getting like a little knack. He's getting confident. Like if they talking to him about being confident, like, yo, just let it go if you got it. Because there's sometimes you see him pass it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a nut, but if we talking about we want these dudes to take more threes, like, yo, take that. You know what I mean? So it's exciting to see him do his thing where it looks like, yo, this kid could, if he knocks down some of these shots, man, it could be a really big deal. I like it.
Yeah, I think he was saying on one of his podcast episodes over the summer that's what he was working on is his 3-point shot, because we're gonna need you to take it. You're seeing teams are leaving you open. You got to get comfortable taking that shot, no matter what.
100%.
Shout out to him for sticking to that plan and coming through. You know what I mean? Because it's evident that everything he's been putting that work in over the summer, and it's not even that he's just making the shots. It's like I said, he's taking them, and not only is he taking them, but he's taking them a lot of times with like people are contesting him. Like guys are in his face. Like he's actually taking a shot, and of course the time is going down, so you have to take the shot, but the confidence to pull up and take it and make it, you know what I'm saying, is there. And the more he makes them, the more confident he's getting, and it just makes him more comfortable to take those shots, and it makes us a more deadly team because now you can't leave Josh open.
Right.
And once he hits one or two, now you got to go out there and you have to close. And when you close, he's great at getting off the dribble and getting into the paint and dishing off to somebody in the corner or in the paint. Like these guys are so unselfish. Even Cat passes the ball tonight, 22 points, 22 rebounds, but 5 assists. He passes the ball very well for a big man. And these guys have been very unselfish. So, and especially Mikal. Mikal's a very unselfish player too. That ties back to a lot of reason why people can be upset with him sometimes, because he doesn't take the shot that you want him to take. But it's these guys are a very unselfish bunch, and I love to see what I've been seeing. Xavier, before we get out of here, he asked, "Do you guys think we're going to trade Mitch?" I think we did kind of touch on that earlier, but I don't think. I don't know. Like Rick said, you said, nope. I've been wrong before. Absolutely. I can't sit here and tell you yes or no because I could be wrong either way. I feel like they would if it's a yes. If I think, here's my backing. If I'll give you both answers. If it's a yes, it's because they believe that with him and maybe another piece that they can get a piece that we know can fit this team very well. But if it's a no, it's because they believe they have everything they need with a healthy Mitch to fill all the voids that we've been having so far this season defensively. So I think it's going to take some time for us to figure that out. But I do know no one's going to trade for Mitch until he's healthy, regardless. So, you know what I mean? I think teams are going to want to see Mitch play. So in that process of teams wanting to see Mitch play, do we see something that we like in Mitch in this team? And then we say, you know what, let's put a halt on that, because that's happened before. You know what I mean? Maybe we have wanted to trade a guy and we had to go out there and show other teams his value. And in that process, we're like, yo, hold on, I think we good. Let's just stick with what we got. So I think it's possible on both sides for there to be some smoke. Because I think there's in the front office, from what I've heard, that in the front office that there's guys on both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? Like they're not completely all out on Mitch, and they're not completely all in on Mitch. So, I mean, I think you gotta give them, you gotta tip them the hat that he's still here. So that should mean something. The fact that he's still here at this point, the longest tenured Nick, if we're really being honest. It means something. Yeah, last man standing. It means something. So he said if they could get Zubac or Sengun somehow, I'd do it. But I think that's unlikely, especially Sengun.
Yeah.
The Rockets are rolling. The Rockets are rolling. They just gave him. I don't.
Shit.
They're going. Yeah, there's no way they're getting Sengun out of there. Zubac.
Maybe.
I like Zubac. I mean, he doesn't require the ball a lot. He can put the ball in the basket if you need him to, which is something that Mitch doesn't necessarily do. But there's positives to that. I see that. I can see that. Before we go, let us talk about real quick the games we have coming up. We have the next game at Minnesota on Thursday. Man, at Minnesota on Thursday. We know Dante is going to be on fire this game. Dante, Julius, because I know they feel some kind of way about being traded still. I would too. You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand it, Dante. I understand it now, as Lethal Shooter says. But tell me how you feel about that game, you know, the versus the Timberwolves on Thursday, cuz
It has the potential to be a fiery game. Everybody trying to prove that I am what you're missing. You made a mistake letting me go. Cat too, you know.
catch me.
Yeah, both
I
sides.
think that's what I'm saying. It has a real opportunity for players to showcase their best. So whoever can live up to what they want to present themselves to be will be the true winner of this game.
Ah, I like that. I like that. What about you, Dre? What about you?
I feel the same way. I feel like you're gonna see both teams. It might get nasty. It might be fun. I think it'll be all of the above when it comes to who wants to show out. I think that the Knicks are a better team. They said DiVincenzo hasn't been working out in terms of how his fit over there. Nobody saw that coming because when we lost him, you know, everybody was upset. I don't like to look back too much and be like, yo, see, he's shooting 100% from three for the last 10 games. He could have been doing that with us. Like, I don't think, you know, life works out like that. It's like that simple, like his numbers there would be the numbers here, and it works out exactly like that.
Right, situation is different and all
that.
Yeah,
I think both teams still have some adjusting to do. I think Minnesota was stupid for that. I think that New York was smart for the trade. You know, Minnesota, they just got didn't they get to the finals or Eastern Conference? I mean, the Western Conference Finals?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You get all the way there. It's like, all right, let's ship this dude. I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting rid of Karl Anthony Towns, even for that. Because my thing is, one of the things I can't stand, I know I'm getting deeper into this whole answer, but to have somebody to give them that salary and then get rid of them, like, did they need to pay him that much? Was that like a big part of the, you know, so now you had to get rid of him. Now you create this story where now he's in New York, the city the team that he loved growing up. And I know he mentioned, you know, the adjustment, getting rid of Julius Randle. I don't think a lot of people were as mad at Julius Randle as they were upset at DiVincenzo leaving.
Right.
That's the feel I get from it. DiVincenzo, I think, of course, is going to want to show off. Julius, I think, when is that game?
Thursday.
Man, I wish Mitch could be back first before that game, man, because I feel like ain't nothing happening if Mitch getting the paint with these dudes. But yeah, you know, I think it's the soap opera. It's the NBA soap opera.
Yeah, we're not seeing Mitch till next year.
Yeah,
till January.
At least.
Man, that would be so dope. But it's one of those things that, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'll be able to watch the games this week. But that's the first game for, you know, so what's it? Yeah, they got like 4-day layoff. So Thursday, you know, we see that game. That's going to be fun to watch. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, though, you know, because you never know. It's going to be like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like, I think, and that's Cat's first time going back to Minnesota. So I think, if anything, he might have, you know, a lot of energy going back over there. You know what I mean? I know these other guys are going to feel, you know, crazy playing their old team again, but him going back into that arena for the first time as a Knick is going to feel crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know, there was some stories before he, after he was traded, he still went and filled his responsibilities that he did as a Minnesota Timberwolf, and still showed up to a game for somebody, you know, and one of the kids and their families that, you know, he's just a good guy. Yeah, he's just a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was traded, he still did that for them, for that team. I mean, for that family. So, you know, he's loved in Minnesota. People love him in Minnesota. He's going to get a lot of cheers in Minnesota. You know what I mean? It's going to be a very emotional game for him. I think more emotional for him than Julius and Dante. Dante was only here for a year, if we're being honest. And if we're being honest with Julius, he was rumored to be traded for years. You know what I'm saying? If we're being real. And same with Cat, but it's the difference with Cat was they had already gave him the max. He played there for so long. He was drafted there, so it's a lot more emotional for Cat than I think, especially because they just got to the, like you said, the Western Conference Finals, and then it's like, yo, let's re-up, let's do this again. And that's kind of, he talked, if you watch the interview with him and Shannon Sharp, he spoke about that as well, and wanting to be able to run it back and let's go do this again. And boom, on the eve of what is it, media day, you get traded. You know what I mean? That's kind of crazy. So, and Coach Calipari said he spoke to him at that time, and he told him, he said, listen, he said, it's you just forget about it. You know what I mean? They made a mistake. He said, but this is part of, he said, you're built for it. You're built for this. And that's kind of what you see. Like he was quiet for a little while, and then he kind of snapped out of it. And from game one, he was on fire. I mean, like, I think the first preseason game, he kind of like took it easy because they kind of just wanted to, be easy. But from the start of the regular season, Karl-Anthony Towns has been on fire and just taking on and embracing him being a Knick, and just, I mean, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. So I say that to say that game versus the Timberwolves is going to be a big game, huge game to watch. I can't wait to see it. I want to see how much defense Julius is going to play and how we're going to exploit that. I want to see how we exploit Julius on defense. I can't wait to see it. And his miscues and how that will work. But I'm just kidding. Shout out to Julius.
And his miscues. I'm sorry. Guys.
I'm just kidding. Shout out to Julius.
Shout out to Julius and his miscues.
Miscues. Now, don't get me wrong. He is missed. There's certain aspects of his game that is missed. Like I hate sometimes that there's no one outside of Brunson, that we can just give the ball to and they can create something ISO.
Go to work.
What I mean? Like, that's like that is, in this league, you gotta have one of those guys, but it's hard to have one of those guys and he's able to do all the other things. So I can't really blame Julius, because if you're being honest, that anyone who's like that, who you can give the ball to and just move out the way, they're not just a great all-around player, because it takes a lot of energy to be able to do that and still turn around and play defense.
I miss his bully ball application. Mm-hmm. Like when they want to get physical, I would say just get ran out the ball, and he would do it. And he's such a big, strong guy that he would do it and get the N1. And it was just like, yo, that's what we need. We don't have anybody like that right now. I mean, you could say Cat, but
who do you think? Really. Who do you think we're gonna put on
him? Probably OG. Nah, I don't know.
Oh, that's a tough matchup. I can't wait to see that. OG and Julius. Actually, they're both the starting four, aren't they?
Well, I think if that's a matchup, he's gonna shut them down. If that's the case,
bro, that's why I want to see it. OG on Julius. OG on Julius will be crazy.
He's gonna shut his ass down, and Julius gonna get frustrated. He's gonna fuck up. He's gonna start screaming at his team.
He gonna yell at the refs because the refs ain't going. That's a foul. Like,
He gonna self-destruct in there.
It's not a foul. It's OG. That's what it is. It's OG.
The girls gonna say that wasn't a foul. That was OG. You ain't seen
it? you ain't see OG? That was OG.
I hope it does get intense, but I hope it doesn't get like
out of hand.
I don't want nobody to get hurt. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anybody.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see that game. That's gonna be a good game to see. Outside of that, then we play the Pelicans, and we have one of the easiest stretches of the season. Technically, we have the easiest portion of the schedule this month in the NBA, so we have to win these games. That's why the Atlanta game, that really bothered me, because we had that game. God. We got punched in the mouth and we never punched back, and we lost that game. At home, man, like that, you can't do that.
It's for the cup. Like, what's happening, y'all?
Yeah. That was very, very frustrating to watch. Then we see the Pelicans. We gotta, They don't have anybody. Zion's there is not there. Brandon Ingram's not there. Like, come on. Like you guys gotta continue. You gotta take care of that on Saturday. Then we play the Raptors again. Come on. Like, let's be honest. That's a dub. We shouldn't have struggled the way we did with them when we did, but we playing at home. Let's turn up. You know what I mean? Like we played in Toronto that last game, so I get it. You know what I mean? The crowd got into it, but at home we should not lose. I know that'll be RJ's first time playing in New York again, so you know that's gonna be interesting. Is it? I think that is his first. It should be his first time in New York in the regular season.
He didn't play the last one.
You know what? I'm wrong. At the end of the last year, I think they played one more game in Madison Square Garden. Up until that point, I'll have to double check.
Out, right?
And Quickly's out. Quickly's still out with his elbow. Something's wrong with his elbow, I believe.
It's too bad, man.
Yeah. Then we play again on Christmas. We gotta win Christmas. I don't care who we play. You gotta win on Christmas. You know, everybody's watching you. Against the San Antonio Spurs, Wemby is a hell of a guy, bro. He's balling. And he's just doing outrageous stuff that I hope we get a chip before he gets into his prime, because once he gets there, it's gonna be hard to get past that dude, especially anybody in the Western Conference. Once he gets a good head of steam and gets that confidence that you need at that age that he's at, you know, and get on to that next level, that kid's gonna be good. He's gonna be really good. But anyway, gotta win. I think did Chris Paul, because Chris Paul's their point guard. I think he just got I think he's second all time in assists.
Wow.
I think he's second all time. Yeah, he's second all time in assists. I think he just closed the gap. He just eclipsed Steve Nash, I believe. So I think he's right behind John Stockton in assists.
CP.
Yeah,
so like he never struggled with the regular season. It's always postseason for him.
It's always postseason.
Yeah, at least good for him on that. He been in the league.
I don't need him coming into the Garden with a head of steam though on Christmas. So he's gonna have to. Somebody gonna have to do something. His ex teammate is Mikal Bridges, so hopefully we'll get to see him with a little bit of intensity for his ex teammate there. And then we play Orlando Magic again. And then the Washington Wizards. I believe that is how we end the year. Let's double check. Is there another game? Come on, what's going on here? Yeah, that's the last game. No, we played the Washington Wizards twice. Yeah, we played them back to back. Okay, so we played them back to back to finish out the year. So we got to win these games. We got to win these games. We have to. Then we play the Jazz. Oklahoma City Thunder. That's going to be a game because you get to see Hartenstein. I watched Hartenstein play last night, and that man,
miss him.
Yes,
miss my guy, bro. His instincts are just amazing, bro. It's.
I think that's a game that if we win, it's like, all right. But I still do think that it's going to be like by the end of the year. Where because it feels a little bit like the Knicks are not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But we can't really say yay or nay yet, like how deep we're going to go in the playoffs. Like, it's disappointing to see how Cleveland got off to like what it was like a 10-0, 13-0 start or something like that.
Yeah, right.
You know, but nothing changed with them. I don't think they made like a single trade, or maybe they drafted somebody, but nothing changed. So that team is gelling already. Same thing with the Celtics. And the Celtics, I think, was the first team to beat them, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's just like those are the things. And when you look at the Knicks, I'm not sure I'm confident that they could be OKC just yet. But that would be dope to get that win. If we had a coming out night where it's like you put the league on notice, because I start seeing people on ESPN start saying, I'm telling you, the Knicks is a problem. You know what I mean? And then they lose. They lose to like Atlanta. And it's like, come on, man. Bro. We started to go on the winning streak and like y'all lose that one. But it's just those, they're just ironing out the kinks and stuff like that. So
yeah. I like I said, I was watching him play last night, and his just, I think Can I look at the stats real quick? What did he have? Let me see. Saturday, December 14th, OKC in Houston. Box score. Let's just look real quick. His contributions to the team. Where is he? There he is. 9-12 from the field. 21 points. 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Just, I mean, the stats really don't even tell you just how just good he was. Like, he just was in the right spot, dropping off the backdoor passes. Hockey assist game is really, really good. He plays great defense. I think what's the young guy tried to dunk on him and he blocked him at the rim. Jabari Smith Jr. He tried to dunk on him and he blocked him at the rim. I mean, I think they called a foul, but just his aggressiveness. You know what I mean? I miss Hardenstein. It's gonna suck that we gotta bust his ass, at home at their crib. But I miss the guy. I miss the guy, man. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a fun game. Those are the teams that I like playing those teams because as much as we struggle, for some reason, we always play up. We always play up to the competition. So cool. I'll get to see the real version of the Knicks when we play that game. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how I feel about those teams because, you know what I mean, with these other guys that aren't as good, we struggle with them for no freaking reason. And I never really understand it. But the teams that we're supposed to play well against, we show up to those games. So I would like to see how we play against OKC at their home, especially with SGA having an MVP caliber season. So, it's going to be a fun game to see. Xavier says, I know this is a Knicks podcast, but isn't it great to see that dumpster fire in Philadelphia?
I love it. Yeah. And you know what I love? Man. And I probably shouldn't feel this way. Joel Embiid to get hit in the face like that after what he did last year and what he's continued to do. I can't stand it, man.
He's got to have the worst luck in history. Like
ever. Your boy just came back and he back out.
He's literally had an injury like that he's missed consistent time with every single year of his career. Every single year.
You thought Mitchell Robinson was bad. In comes Joel Embiid.
The only person I feel bad for is Maxey because he's an incredible talent and he's stuck on that team.
Yeah.
I don't care
they
about.
They just gave him some bread, right?
Say again?
I don't know.
Maxey just got like a max contract. Like he's dead. He's done.
Oh, I think they did.
They gave him like a lot of money just to stay over there.
Yeah.
He agreed.
He has a punchable face. That's all. He definitely does have a punchable face. But yeah, man, like you see what Paul George injuring the same knee the same way, and like within a month span, and it's like, yo, bro, like, why? Why did y'all think that was the move to make? You gave him a lot of money, and you already have an often injured star. At best, absolutely, they're very like scary team. But when are you going to get their best? Let's be honest. When have you ever been able to get the best out of Joel Embiid for a consistent season?
I mean, you stuck.
You stuck. You did, and this is year one. Don't get me wrong. Like at some point they might be good, but let's be honest. That's their ceiling. Good is their ceiling. Like, and that's really, you can't really build around guys who are often, and then Jared McCain tears his meniscus this week, just the other day. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like they have the worst luck over there, and I think it starts with their captain. You know what I mean? It starts with Joel Embiid. Like, when you have a guy there who is just, I don't know, man, like unreliable. Like, Maxey had to call him out at the team meeting saying, like, you're late for everything. Like, you have to say that to your best player, like, you're late for everything. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool. That's not cool. So I mean, it's December and they're still struggling. Like, usually the struggles last for a couple weeks into the season, but
they look terrible.
They're not looking good, man. So I mean, I don't wish that on anyone. I just wish that we do better than everyone. But at the end of the day, you know, it's good to see another team go through the kind of shit that we dealt with for a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's just good to see that it's possible.
This is nice. I like this. How y'all doing over there in Philly?
You sitting here with oh my God, look what they're doing over there. Yo, we used to do that.
Oh man, y'all all right?
Listen, bro, I'm glad to not be the franchise that's making dumb move after dumb move for the first time. So I got shout out Leon Rose for that. RBO says he tore his meniscus while painting his toenails.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Could you imagine tearing your meniscus while painting your toenails? That's outrageous.
That's in your medical chart.
Well, listen, y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. It's good to see the family together once again. To have everybody on, it's been a minute. Listen, we got a lot of games to finish out the year, and that are winnable games. So hopefully, we'll have more to talk about the next time we're on. Yeah, like we got to keep it. We got to keep it rolling. We got to keep it rolling. Next Saturday, we play the Timberwolves game. We play the New Orleans Pelicans. So we'll be talking about those two games the next time we're on. And yeah, man, let's keep up the great energy. Thank y'all for being here. If you're still here, smash that like button. Hit that bell so you're notified when we go live. Shout out to the chat, RBL, Xavier, Toon, who was in here earlier. Who else? There's a lot of guys that was in here earlier.
Yeah, anybody didn't say anything.
That didn't say anything. Shout out to y'all. But
I just want to.
Apollo needs to sign a contract to make at least 6 appearances on the show. Listen, man, it's not. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to have to get everybody on, and it's hard to do a show by myself a lot of times. So I don't really like doing the show unless everybody's really here. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Because you know what I mean. I it's a family show. It's not a family show if I'm here by myself. So you know what I mean. I like to make sure that we here with the squad. So we're gonna get Joe on here too. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna run. You gotta stop running, Joe. We might have to catch him. Let's do next Saturday. Let's try to get next Saturday. This way, you don't have no excuses. You know what I'm saying? And we could do it after the show or something, but we'll see. But thank y'all for coming out once again. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Next time, like I said, we'll be talking about hopefully the 2 victories since
2 games.
You know, our next 2 games, since we're only playing 2 games until next Saturday. So thank y'all for coming out. Y'all have a good one. Y'all got any last words y'all want to throw in there?
I just want to say in the standings right now in the East, we're number 3, 16-10. Boston is 21-5. Cleveland is 22.
Yeah, we number 3.
Yeah,
I feel like on the games we lost, we'd be like 5.
I know it feels like that, but like everything that you're saying, like if we win the next couple of games, we right in there.
Yeah,
we right in there.
16, I think we're 16-10 now.
16-10. Boston is 21-5, and that's who's right above us. So that's 5 games.
What's Cleveland?
Cleveland is 22-4. They're first.
Right, gotcha.
They're first or they're second?
Yeah, they're first. They're only 1 game behind. They're only 1 game ahead of Boston.
Oh, so Boston's second. Okay.
So we need a 10-game winning streak. Let's go next. We got it.
I don't really and let's just so I can say that I don't really necessarily, as long as we don't finish outside of the top 4, I don't care where in the top 4 we land. Honestly, I'm more concerned about getting to the playoffs. And that's when I want us to cut ass. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking forward to for us going crazy. Xavier said, let's get that chimp.
Trying to get that chimp this year. Like, what?
You're gonna get that chimp this year, y'all. Let's go get that
chimp. You ain't what RBL said about getting chips? Like,
he said you got to get past last year's championship Celtics.
Last year's championship Celtics. Like, all right, cool.
Love y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. Until next time, y'all. Peace.